Bismillah and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Zulfaqar bin Zamri, number message AA190113. Today I want to present about DOL motor starter. What is DOL? Direct Online Motor Starters. Okay, first we go to the introduction. The Direct Online Motor Starter or DOL consists of MCCB or circuit breaker, contactor and a overload relay for protection. Electromagnetic contactor which can be opened by the thermal overloads relay under fault conditions. Typically, the contactor will be controlled by separate start and stop button, and an auxiliary contact on the contactor is used across the start button as a hold-in button. Hold-in contact. The contactor is electrically latched closed while the motor is operating AC. Induction motors are traditionally start and stop by applying and removing the AC supply. In some cases, a full voltage start is acceptable, but in many situations, the start current must be reduced, and so a reduced voltage starter is employed. Okay, next we go to the characteristic. By now, I can list 3 characteristics that can be convenient and necessary to know. First, power or HP ranges. Line voltage magnetic motor starters are electromechanical devices that provide a safe, convenient, and economical means of starting and stopping motors and have the advantage of being controlled remotely. The great bulk of motor controllers sold of this type. The second one, we go to the starting current. Contactors are mainly used to control machinery which uses electrical motors. It consists of a coil which connects to a voltage source. Very often to a single phase motors, 230 volt coils are used, and for 3-phase motors, 415 coils are used. The contactor has 3 main no contacts and laser power rated contact named as auxiliary contacts, no and NC, used for the control circuit. I contact a conducting metal pipe which complete or interrupt an electric circuit. To start, the contactor is closed, applying full line voltage onto the motor winding. The motor will draw a very high enraged current for a very short time. The magnetic field is on in the iron, and then the current will be limited to the lock rotor current of the motor. The motor will develop lock rotor torque and begin to accelerate toward full speed. We move to the third one, the starting torque. The acceleration torque is the torque developed by the motors minus the load torque, and will change as the accelerates due to the motor speed torque curve and the load speed torque curve. The start time is dependent on the acceleration torque and the load inertia. DOL starting have a maximum start current and maximum start torque. Next subtopic that we want to discuss, that I want to present today, is principle of operation. Basically, principle of operation is divided by only 2. So the first one, the overcurrent protection. We talk about the overcurrent protection. Current faults are more common and are mainly due to the ground damage and a short circuit damage. When such an error occurs anywhere, a large amount of leakage current begins to flow from the circuits and can cause great damage, not only for the system but our life. Therefore, fuses and circuit breakers are used, which indicate a quick response to damage when a type of large fault current flows out of the system. That's why To protect the system from the short circuit and also from excessive load current, we use a specific MCCB fuse rating. Without wasting any time, we move on to the overload protection, the second principle. Whenever motor draws too much amount of current to fulfill load demands, and if load demand goes beyond the allowable limit, such condition or situation is called as overload. An electric overload occurs when an excessive amount of current passes through electric wire or from the motor winding. Wires are basically a type of safety protection when the motor draws too much current or overloads current and causing overheating the electrical machine. So that's why we use a different kind of overload release to avoid the system or machine from overheating due to the excessive amount of current drawn for a too long period. Sometimes motor starters come with built-in overload relay. Next, we talk about the application of DOL motor starters. Make it simple and short. I would like to make a short list of the example. First, we have a small compressor, conveyor belts, water pump, fans, and other items that apply the DOL motor starters in daily life. Okay, the last one. We talk about the advantages of DOL starter. I only list 5 the most concrete advantages and disadvantages from the world websites. Okay, first, the advantages is simple and the most economical starters, more comfortable to design. Third, provide nearly full starting torque and starting current. Fourth, easy to understand and troubleshoot. Fifth, the starter connect to the supply to the delta winding of the motor. Let's go to the disadvantages of the oil starter. First, high starting current, 5 to 8 of load current. UL starter causes a significant dip in voltage, hence suitable only for small motors. UL starters reduce the lifespan of the machine. Otherwise, it is mechanically tough and he have a necessary high starting torque. Excuse me. I think that's all from me. Let's proceed the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Irsyad AA191113. My metric number is AA191157. I am from Station 6. Today, I'm gonna explain about forward reverse direct online motor starter. First of all, what is forward reverse direct online motor starter? It can be defined as a system where forward and backward or upward and downward movement in the operation needed. It is also a method of starting three-phase induction motor. An induction motor will be connected directly to three-phase supply. Then, full line voltage will be applied to the motor terminals, which is output. But forward reverse direct online motor starter cannot run the motor of above 5 horsepower. So rating circuit must be made in star delta to run the motor of above 5 horsepower. Forward reverse direct online motor starter have been used in various applications such as drilling machine and mixer. This is some example of basic diagram of circuit for the forward and reverse direct online motor starter. First picture shows us forward reverse direct online motor control circuit. As you can see, forward contactor is located in the left side. For the reverse contactor, located in the right side. There is also 3-phase induction motor. Second picture shows us about forward reverse starter circuit. Reverse contactor NC is located on the left side and forward contactor NC on the right side. Third picture shows us about forward reverse starter operation. First motor show the direction. First motor show the direction of rotation is clockwise. So it is forward motor. And the second motor show us anti-clockwise direction of rotation. That is mean it is reverse rotation. There are some of characteristics for forward reverse direct online motor starter. First, forward reverse direct online motor starter can only run the motor of 1 to 5 horsepower. The starting current may be large as 10 times the full load current, and the starting torque is equal to full load torque. It will produce an excessive voltage drop in the line which supplies power to the motor. The starting torque for forward reverse direct online is when full voltage is switched directly onto the motor terminals. For small motor, the starting torque will be 150% to 300% of the full load value, while the starting current will be 300% to 800% of the full load current even higher. There are 4 principles of operation for forward reverse direct online motor starter. First, push button start forward counterclockwise, which is reverse, which is clockwise. Next, push button start reverse clockwise. Next, pressing start push button at the same time. And last principle of operation is overload relay, which is overload protection. This is some example of application forward reverse direct online motor starter in our life. First, the relay machine, which is it can be upward and downward movement. Second, hoisting crane. It helps people to lift the container easily. Next, carriage transfer. Carriage transfer used in oil pump industry. Advantage of forward reverse direct online motor starter is it has no limit number of time they can be operated, which is mean we can use it in many times. It is easy maintained and long life, but it is superior performance. Forward reverse direct online motor starter use small component, that means it use very little space to locate it. Most important thing is it is affordable. But there are some disadvantages of forward reverse direct online motor starter. It uses initial high current to start it. Forward reverse direct online motor starter cannot run the motor of above 5 horsepower. It is full load starting current, which is mean high starting torque. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Syahir AA191617. My group member is Zulfaqar Irsyad AA191113 Muzamil and I. Okay, today I want to talk about servo motor. Okay, what is a servo motor? Servo motor is a rotary actuator or a linear actuator. Okay, it's allow for a persist control of angular velocity and acceleration. Okay, it consists of suitable motor coupled to a sensor for position feedback, and it also require a relative sophisticated controller. Okay, servo motor separated for three types. There are AC servo motor, DC servo motor, and brushless DC servo motor. Okay, what is a AC servo motor? AC servo motor is the speed of AC determined by the frequency of the applied voltage and the number of magnetic poles. Okay, what is the DC servo motor? Okay, DC servo motor is the speed of the DC is directly proportional from the supply voltage with the constant load. Okay, we continue with what is a brushless DC servo motor. Okay, brushless DC servo motor commonly known as sonorous motor, that powered by DC electricity via inverter or switching power supply. Okay, this motor provide an AC electric current to drive each phase of motor via a closed loop controller. So for servo motor, we have three basic circuit for servo motor. The first one is a servo motor controller circuit, AC circuit, and DC circuit. Okay, you can see on the slides, there are the circuits. Okay, on these slides, we can see the character of servo motor. Okay, actually the servo motor is a compact motor, high power, and the lightweight one. Okay, the standard power that come out from this motor is 200 watt, and the standard motor frame size is 60 mm. Okay, in real life or industry, servo motor is used in a robotic automatic machine such as printing machine, cutting machine, packaging machine, and anything that's automatic machine. Okay, for every single machine or motor have the advantage and the disadvantage. Okay, for this servo motor also have the advantage and disadvantage. Okay, the first one is the outcome power from servo motor is high, but the size and the weight is small. Okay, secondly, the motor is high efficiency. It can approach 90% light loop. And the third one is indicator determines accurate the resolution. And the last one is quiet and high speed. Okay, disadvantages of servo motor. Okay, the first one is servo motor required tuning to stabilize the feedback loops, and this complex controller require indicator and electronic support. Next, the gearbox are often required to deliver power in higher speeds. Okay, for the last one, the installation cost is very high. That's all for servo motor from me.
My name is Muzamil and number matrix is AA190419, and I will continue with the stepper motor. So what is a stepper motor? So a stepper motor is a motor controlled by a series of electromagnetic coil, and the coil shaft has a set of magnets attached on it, and the coils surrounding the shaft are alternately given current and creating a magnetic field which repulse or attract the magnet on the shaft and that causing the motor to rotate. So this is the stator and this is the rotor. Rotor is the magnetic and the coil is the stator. Okay, there are two types of two pace of a stepper motor. First is unipolar and the second one is a bipolar motor. And there are also three types of stepper motor. So first type is permanent magnet stepper, that is use a permanent magnet in the rotor and operate on the attraction or repulsion between the rotor and stator electromagnet. And the second one is a variable reluctance stepper. It have a plain iron rotor and operate based on the principle that minimum reluctance occurs with minimum gap, so the rotor is attracted to be stator magnet poles. And the third type is hybrid synchronous stepper. It is a combination of the both above to maximize power in a small size. Okay, like I said before, there are two type of a motor, like two pace stepper motor. So which is actually a basic sequence of stepper motor. It is a unipolar and a bipolar. Okay, so what is unipolar? So unipolar stepper motor operate with one winding with a center tap per pace. Each section of the winding is switched on for each different of the magnetic field. Each winding is made relatively simple with the commutation of a circuit. This is done since the arrangement has a magnetic pole which can be reversed without switching the direction of the current. And the next one is a bipolar stepper motor. It has one winding per stator pace. A two-pace bipolar stepper motor will have 4 leads. Okay, a bipolar stepper motor does not have a common lead like the unipolar stepper motor. There is no reversal of current direction through the winding. So the next, the characteristic. So the power or horsepower range for the stepper motor is okay. A stepper motor may run at voltage between 5 volt to 12 volt, and the current draw will be somewhere in the range of 100 milliampere to 400 milliampere, something like that. Okay, so starting current for stepper motor. A typical stepper motor will have a peak current of 1.40 ampere, and starting torque, the peak torque is 0.8 here to 1.2 Nm. Okay, the principle of operation. So as all with electric motor, stepper motor, stator and a motor. So on the stator, there are teeth on which coils are wired, while the rotor is either a permanent magnet or a variable reluctant iron core. Figure 1 show a drawing representing the section of the motor is shown where the rotor is a variable reluctant iron core. So here is the figure 1. So, so the diagram shall represent a tension of the working principle at the beginning. So here, the coil A is energized and the rotor is aligned with the magnetic field it produces. When coil B is energized, the rotor rotates clockwise by 60 degrees to align with the new magnetic field. The same happens when coil C is energized, so it will turn clockwise. So in the picture, the colors of the teeth indicate the direction of the magnetic field generated by stator winding. So from here, go to here to here, so it will clockwise. Okay, so rotate clockwise. Okay, so the application. So what kind of application that has the industry that use? So first is a medical application. So this is drug delivery pump. So drug delivery pump. So how it works is actually the battery powered drug delivery pump. Example like insulin pump used again diabetes or pain treatment pumps, okay, something like that. So its application field is growing of interest, so it quite get high demand, okay, in nowadays. So therefore many medical manufacturers try to design and develop their own pump. In such device, a motor is usually used to rotate or position a piston that control the injection of the drug. Here it is. The motor operate infrequently, time on or time off. Must hold the position with the current and move the piston at a very steady speed. Together with the requirement for a simple and compact electronic, the stepper motor truly makes sense. The next one is handheld X-ray analyzer. This is instrumentation application. So the handheld X-ray analyzer enable to scan a metal object and characterize its composition. The role of the stepper motor is to position a metal filter wheel in order to calibrate the device. The very short length of the stepper motor and it's easy to integrate control electronic are appreciated by the manufacturer of such equipment. Okay, that is two application here. We continue. What a stepper motor good for? Okay, so what is the advantage of a stepper motor? First is positioning. So since stepper move in precise repeatable steps, they excel in application requiring precise positioning such as 3D printers, CNC, camera platform, and XY plotters. Okay, some disk drive also use stepper motor to position the read and write head. The second one is speed control. So precise increment of movement also allows to excellent control of rotational speed for process automation and robotics. And third one is low speed torque. So normal DC motor don't have very much torque at low speed. So a stepper motor has maximum torque at low speed. So they are a good choice for application requiring low speed with high precision. Okay, next, the last one. What is the disadvantage? What are their limitation of the stepper motor? So first, it is a low efficiency. Unlike DC motor, stepper motor current consumption is independent of load. Okay, they draw the most current when they are doing no work at all. Because of this, they tend to run hot. Okay. The second one is limited high speed torque. So in general, stepper motor have less torque at high speed than at low speeds. So some stepper are optimized for better high speed performance, but they need to be paired with an appropriate drive to achieve that performance. Okay, and the last one is no feedback. Unlike servo motors, most stepper do not have integral feedback for position, although great precision can be achieved running open load limit switches or home detector are typically required for safety and to establish a reference position. Okay, that's all about the stepper motor. Thank you.